the biggest brand you can think of in sports apparel? What's the biggest ones you can think of? A lot of Nike, right? So I have a friend here who we've gotten to know each other recently. He was largely responsible for managing the Jordan brand for the last 32 years inside of the Nike organization. He knows a tremendous amount about branding, not only branding for Nike, but how that can impact and how you can make decisions on branding yourself. So he's going to come out here. We're going to have a conversation. Please welcome to the stage Gentry Humphrey. Come on out, Gentry. Hey, man.
Yes. How are you? Man, great to see you. Great to see you. You good?
So, we can have chairs.
What's up, everybody?
Do we have chairs or no? Bring out a couple chairs for us. So, Gentry Humphrey, while they're doing that, come on over here.
All right.
So, look at those shoes. He's got fancy shoes. Gentry's responsible for, has to be, billions of dollars in sales.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Have a seat. That's quite accurate, especially over a 32-year career.
Can we bring his mic up a bit?
Yes.
Over a 32-year career?
Yeah, that usually comes with the territory. A lot of revenue that's attached to it.
So, look, these guys are all entrepreneurs. They're all home-based business, solopreneurs, and I'm of the belief that building a brand as a person, which you've done as well.
Yep.
And you've helped Michael Jordan do.
Yep.
Is a big deal in terms of marketability out in the market. You'll attract more people, more opportunities will show up, more people will respond to you and help you grow as an entrepreneur. So when you think about brand, what comes to mind?
I think the first thing that comes into mind for me is you will not be successful in creating your brand if you truly don't understand the essence and you can't define what your brand is. So for instance, the easy thing for people to do is talk about their brand and everything.
So I said standards, you're saying your essence.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's what you're known for, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. The easy thing for people to do is talk about all of the great things that they do. But really, where the magic comes from is when you understand the opportunities that you have. You have to be able to define what it is that you're not doing to help you get to another place. Michael Jordan is a great example of that. One of the greatest athletes to play the game of basketball. In order to sustain that greatness, the first thing he'll tell you is I had to identify the weaknesses of my game and turn them into strengths. Once I'm able to turn those weaknesses into strengths, now my game is complete and I can sustain that excellence. The thing that you're doing here is phenomenal. You're giving folks an opportunity to understand what it's going to take for them to build their own brands. And that knowledge, you've got to absorb that knowledge. The collective genius that they get from multiple people to help create that greatness is truly important. So
let me think about it this way. How many meetings you had to be sitting in thinking about little things, like the color, detail. How detailed did you need to be in order to be able to kind of build a sustained brand over time?
Oh, it's everything.
And how closely did you guard against people trying to change that?
All the time. If you understand what your brand ethos is, and you live and die by what your brand ethos is, and you're able to connect with consumers who start to appreciate and respect your brand ethos, you have to be able to get into the details. And that's every little thing that you do. I heard you talk about how you dress, how you perform, how you look. All that is a part of your brand ethos. And if in this world today, especially the digital world that we live in, consumers have opportunities to connect with anybody. You can't fool them. They're discerning. They can identify real versus fake right away. And so the devil is in the details. When you have those details and you address those details, that's how you gain credibility and respect amongst that audience that you're targeting.
When you think about like logos and colors and those types of things, how much time did you spend on that, and how much time would you recommend these people spend on figuring out what are the things that are going to represent them, like the flying Michael
logo.
Jordan
Yeah.
as a logo
Yep.
was important.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
The
yes.
colors
Yes.
are important.
Yes.
Like you've got the hat with the flying
Yep,
thing.
yep.
That's the deal. Or the Nike swoosh, the famous swoosh.
Yeah.
Is important. How did what were the conversations like in creating the brand from the first place? When you started doing this 32 years ago?
Yeah.
What was the thought process, and what was the evolution of the brand over time?
Yeah. Well, first off, you have a man that now had a logo, and how he carried himself on the court as well as off the court allowed you to embrace the essence of that man and the excellence that he brought. So that logo became a symbol of excellence. And we believed that at the time, we could share that with the rest of the world. We can share what his brand is all about, and it could complement the things that were happening on the Nike side. And so when you're able to kind of have an audience that connects in a different way with another portion of your brand, you're able to grow your personal brand. And so everything that we did with Michael from day one started off in his likeness, and we sent that through every single filter, how we chose to advertise, how we chose to design product. And I heard someone talking about earlier about being bold. Michael Jordan was the essence of being bold. And for us, it was important to live through that, because if we're doing the same things today that we did 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you're probably getting passed up. So being comfortable with being uncomfortable became extremely important for us. And we lived through that, and everything we do, we try to send it through that filter.
Where some things had to be sacred, I'm guessing.
Yes, yeah. Some things
It's like,
definitely.
I remember I knew a guy who was part of the first executive team of Colonel Sanders, and he's and Colonel Sanders. I'll say it less colorfully than the Colonel would do, because some people were trying to change the gravy.
Right.
And the Colonel was saying, you do not mess with
The gravy. Yeah, that's right.
That is like a non-negotiable. And some things are, I'm assuming, non-negotiable. Yes.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
How aggressively would you protect the brand that you built?
Almost to a fault at times. I've had to sit down with folks that weren't as close to the brand as I was, and folks that are in a high position, and had to learn the power of influence to make sure that they understood why I was protecting it the way I was protecting it. And 9 times out of 10, again, if you come from an authentic position, people can't help but respect your point of view. And it's easier to influence them and to move them in the direction that you need them to go if you come from a position of authenticity.
Right. So, I mean, with all of this, what I find fascinating, Nike's, an amazing, admired brand, and Jordan brands are incredible as well, is what are the lessons that we could learn from that? What are the lessons we could learn from a Richard Branson? What are the lessons we could learn from an Elon Musk and how he's branding himself? He's branding himself completely different than a Tim Cook from Apple.
Yeah.
Like, wildly different brands, but they're doing it on purpose.
Yes.
I believe Musk is doing what he's doing because it's a cheap way to get lots of advertising. Doesn't have to spend much money, and it's driving his stock up to be the richest man in the world.
Right.
Okay, it was working for him to be this rebel renegade.
Right.
Tim Cook is more like by the book, straight up, but that's a choice also, and the organizations reflect that.
Yep.
Okay, so I just want everybody to be thinking, and we're going to bring up a panel in a few minutes. I want everybody to be thinking about how you can utilize these types of thought in order to be able to create a brand that's going to serve you long term, okay, and how you protect that. In the Jordan brand, the things that I've noticed is part of the brand is he's not as accessible as other people.
Right.
He's not going to be on every talk show, and he's not going to be on every radio. He's going to be a little bit back. He's going to let the brand do the speaking, whatever. He's going to pull himself a little bit back, and that's part of his brand, and it's on purpose. Is that accurate?
Yes, very intentional.
Yeah. And if there's somebody in his team or whatever that is disrespectful, right? What's going to happen to that person?
Oh, they're going to hear about it.
They're going to hear about it, or they're going to find their way out of the organization.
That's right. That's right.
Right. If somebody is racist,
Yep.
in the group, that's not going to be tolerated.
Yep.
If somebody's sexist or anything else,
That's right.
it's not going to be tolerated. So there's standards, right?
100%.
Around excellence, around the look. I'm sure he's paying attention to quality
100%.
as being something that's
Because that
important
represents him.
Yeah, represents him. So look at the difference between the brand that I'm dressed up as and the brand that Gentry's dressed up as. Neither one is good or better or worse. His is intentional. Every time I've seen Gentry, he's looked a version like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great shoes, great hat, some kind of cool, funky jacket, right? But that's his look. And it probably wasn't always your look, was it?
No, but I did realize that at some point,
You were part of the brand.
yes, and if I wanted people to truly understand me, and when they saw me on a consistent basis, they knew what my look was going to be.
Right. And did that look inspire confidence in the team? When did you make the decision?
To lead?
To do the brand thing
You know, it's funny.
on yourself.
Yeah, it was funny. Early on, like I have some crazy stories. You know, people used to ask me, you know, how did you get to the job? And you know, I used to say it's being at the right place at the right time. But honestly, when I look back at it, I actually started as a really young kid doing it. I mean, my mom told me at 5 years old, before I went to elementary school, each night I'd lay out 3 different outfits. I had a GQ outfit that I wanted to be the sharpest kid in class. I had a sport outfit because I love sport. And for whatever reason, I love cowboys, and I had a cowboy outfit. So, but it started off early, you know, and I knew that I had to brand myself then.
Yeah. So
Not subconsciously, that was.
in your business, you're working with the Jordan
Yep.
organization.
Yep.
Did you make a conscious shift
Oh,
in
yeah,
your
for
clothing
sure.
stuff? How long into the journey did you
Oh, it
do
was
that?
right away because you want people to.
Because you were representing.
That's right. Like
So has it always kind of been this?
no, it evolved a little bit.
Tell me where it started, where it came.
It started off way more hip hop-ish.
Yeah.
But as I started to mature, I had to kind of create my own style, like incorporate a little bit of hip hop flavor, but yet become a little bit more sophisticated. So, but early on, I mean, if you want people to respect what you do and appreciate the things that you do, you have to, and especially with what we do, there's a look that has to go. Like, not everybody can pull off some of the things that we do.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people need the visual cues of that. So myself and the team had to kind of help portray that for folks.
Well, I know you had Nike and Jordan team came through the studio
Yep.
a month or 2 ago, and the group, as a group, just looked intentional,
Yeah.
on purpose,
Yeah.
phenomenal, professional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So make sure that whatever it is, and energetically, same thing. Professional, on point, wanting to make sure that the job got done right.
Yep.
Wanting to make sure that the brand is protected, all that stuff. It was in the language, it was in the energy, it was in the questions, it was in the appearance, it was in all of that stuff.
Yep.
So look, I appreciate you. I know this is the last second thing.
Oh, no worries.
Coming in and offering some tips as far as what you can do. Ladies and gentlemen, would you show some hands and give some love to Gentry Humphrey? Would you do it? Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Keep it up.